we start tonight with our delusional Prime Minister, who reckons he'd be better placed than Peter Dutton to forge a productive relationship with Donald Trump.
Tell him he's dreaming.
Quality.
Anthony Albanese argues it's his close ties with Indo-Pacific leaders which makes him valuable to the incoming US president, telling the Australian newspaper Peter Dutton has not developed relationships with other people around our region and around the world. Well, I guess Albo's hoping Trump won't have noticed comments he made during Trump's first presidency.
We have an alliance with the US, we've got to deal with him, but that doesn't mean that you're uncritical about it. He scares out of me. And I think it's of some concern that the leader of the free world thinks that you can conduct politics through 140 characters on Twitter.
So between Anthony Albanese and Ambassador to the US, Kevin Rudd, Louise, I frankly don't know how Albo will be able to brown nose his way out of this one.
But I'm sure he'll try. But I mean, this sort of mate-in-waiting routine he's trying to strike up is absolutely laughable, because Trump's whole brand is, personal rapport. And he's also got a very long memory, particularly for insults, as you said. So he'll remember that. He'll remember Rudd having a crack at him as well. And I just don't think he sees Albanese as a world statesman in the same way he views himself as well, as somebody who can carry on to in the next election, even beyond that as well.
No one sees him as a world statesman, I think, Louise.
No one wants him as a world statesman. No, Albo, Donald Trump, that is. Look, I actually don't think there's a problem with this as well. Donald Trump, for all that people go on about how, he'll destroy everyone in his path, Donald Trump has proven himself time and time again to be incredibly magnanimous. There's virtually, no one on the planet who hasn't been critical of him. I mean, he's been critical of himself. He's had that many different positions. He was a Democrat, then he was a Republican. His running mate, J.D. Vance, famously was extremely critical of him and then said, well, I've changed my mind. Joe Scarborough, the Morning Joe people on MSNBC, who are, if you look up nauseating East Coast elites in the Oxford Dictionary, it has a picture of those two. But they were invited to Mar-a-Lago, and Trump says, look, come and show, this is what you got wrong, this is what you're missing out on. And they, to their credit, went to find out how they had completely misread the American people, misread the mood of the nation in the election. So Trump has shown that. I don't think he knows or particularly cares who almost anyone outside his immediate inner circle is. So I think someone actually needs to sit down and explain who Kevin Rudd was.
He's aware of who Kevin Rudd is. He said
he was told who Kevin.
Was, and then he became aware of it.
He said he was told who Kevin Rudd was, and as often happens, this is why it's so much fun. As often happens when Trump gets told something, they say, "Oh yeah, I've heard that guy. He's nasty. He's nasty. I heard he's a nasty guy."
Who told him
so that's right. So.
Look, he can hold grudges, but you're right. There have been certain.
Not if people say.
They have
sorry,
to do enough. They have to do enough sucking up.
They got to kiss the ring.
They have to kiss the ring, and I don't know if Albanese will be capable.
Exactly. What value does Albanese hold for him? He's it's not, he's not hosting some sort of networking event. He's got to have legitimate value to Trump to be part of that inner circle. He can't just assume it.
I think if